Hello again, everybody. We got two envelopes in the mail this time. First one, I'm pretty sure is just some stamps that I ordered up, and hopefully be able to mail off a few requests here. Make sure of that, though, first. And yeah, that is exactly what we've got here, a bunch of stamps, so be able to start cranking out a few more. And we also have one coming back, postmarked from Carroll Stream, Illinois. And narrowed this down to most likely either Dan Pasqua or Rich Becker. Both were to the Chicago area there, at least somewhere in Illinois, I should say, but find out. There we go, and it is indeed Dan Pasqua signing all three cards right there. This one, a couple interesting things. Number one, I mean, of course, I love getting anything like the old jerseys like that signed, where they had the turn back the clock day to somewhere in the 1910s, I think it was. Second of all, you may think this is an 86 Donruss, actually the Canadian version with the 86 Leaf. And this one, card number 792 in the Topps base set, this is the gold version. You'll notice if you look up the base set, however, that 792 was the checklist. What Topps did in 92, 93, and 94 for all their gold sets, they took out the checklists and they instead put in cards of guys who didn't get a regular card in the set, and so Pasqua was one of the lucky ones who was the gold-only versions there. I call them Phantom Topps cards. I don't know if there's a name for them or not, but get Phantom Topps cards. You have Phantom O-Pee-Chee cards even, too. I mean, you look at 88 Topps, and Delino DeShields had an 88 O-Pee-Chee card. Didn't appear on a regular release in the U.S. until, I believe, 1990. So once in a while, you can come up with some really cool stuff like that. But anyways, there you go. Got some stamps in. Got Dan Pasqua back. Might start doing a couple of videos upcoming here that are not related to TTM successes, but to TTMing itself. I had a question come up on my blog recently about international postage and how to go about mailing to teams and players that are in other countries. I've done that a lot with hockey, with soccer, never done it with baseball yet, I don't think, at least off the top of my head. I've mailed out a couple, but haven't gotten them back yet. It's fairly recent. But there's a specific way on how to go about doing all of that, and so I may try to make a video about it. If you have any other ideas for any other things that you'd like to know more about in the TTM world, drop a comment here. I'll try to handle those as best I can in the next few weeks to get a few kind of how-to videos out there. And once again, if you're looking for any other info on how to go about collecting autographs by mail, sportscardforum.com. That's going to be your best place to go and check out the TTM manager section. All the addresses you could possibly need in there, and if they don't have it, somebody could probably help you find it. Hello once again, everybody. Got the successes for June 3rd coming up now, but before I get into today's successes, there is something I want to address. My channel's pretty small. It's only got about 20 subscribers. Most videos get about 20 to 30 views, a few likes, a few comments, nothing really big. It's fairly small, a fairly targeted audience. Very few views, if any at all, come from random people who aren't interested in sports autographs. So yesterday I posted a video joining in with the Blackout Tuesday movement in solidarity with the protests that are taking place in cities all around the country, all around the world. My current home of Arlington, Texas had one. Our neighboring cities of Dallas and Fort Worth both had very large protests. And people that I fully expected to be 100% behind the police no matter what they did, people who were against NFL players kneeling, Blue Lives Matter types, a lot of them were joining in with a blackout response and expressing support for protests. It was definitely refreshing to see. My previous home of Wichita Falls, Texas, even had a large rally, which was a gigantic surprise to me, because they're not exactly known as an area of significant progressivism. And if you go back to my hometown, Painesville, Ohio, they had one. This is a town of about 20,000 people. This is a town that once was home to an Underground Railroad hideout back in the 1850s. Schools, even in the tumultuous 60s, were remembered as being fairly diverse, fairly harmonious. And even a large Mexican immigrant population in the 80s, 90s, on into today that work in the plant nurseries, that have been helping to fix a north side that was loaded with drugs, violence, and poverty. And that area seems really progressive, at least on the surface, throughout its history. But it's seen a lot of changes for the worse. There's been a KKK rally there in 1994 that drew protests about a 20-to-1 ratio, fortunately, and spent the entire rally shouting them down pretty well. But after I moved away, you started seeing these anti-immigration rallies popping up. 2010, 2011, 2015, they had them there. And now there's a number of hate groups that are maintaining a significant presence in a 50-mile radius. There's notably one that has its headquarters in the nearby town of Bainbridge. Yesterday's video was the only one that I've ever posted that's gotten any negative thumbs down responses from anyone, and both came within an hour of my posting it. I just kind of want to know why. If you're watching this and you gave yesterday's video a thumbs down, stand up, be counted. Your downvote was entirely anonymous. Whereas I've attached my name and my face to everything that I say here. Frankly, I was always taught that if you really believe in something strongly, you should stand up and make it known. Why stand in anonymity when you can take this opportunity to show pride in your beliefs? Unless maybe you're realizing that your belief isn't something to be proud of. And if that's the case, maybe you ought to do some soul searching. Ask yourself why you believe in it. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the mail. Got one old one here that I'm going to get into first. It was actually forwarded to me by my mother-in-law up in Wichita Falls. She lives where we used to live when we were up there, and occasionally I get some really way far back responses that'll get mailed there. And I mean, I've been down here in Arlington since 2013, and so this is one that's well beyond, 7 years now this one's been out. I looked it up. Fortunately, I had the return address on there, and as you can see right there, that was Rod Langway, Hockey Hall of Famer. And I've mailed to Langway 3 times throughout my time as a collector. I'll bring up my notes here real quick to find it. But yeah, the first time that I mailed to him was back in 2007. Sent him 3 cards, got back 2, and unfortunately he kept the one for the set that I was working on. So it's like, oh, crap, well, we'll try it again later. So that was 2007. 2011, I tried him again, sent out 2 cards, never got them back. And I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe I can trade for one, something like that. We started signing again, so in 2016, I mailed out to him just the 1 card that I needed for my set. And he signed it. But unfortunately, the card ended up also getting really creased, and the signature smeared all over it. So it's like, oh, geez, come on. You know what? Forget it. I'm done. That's good enough. So, here we go. This one's been out for about 9 years now. Rod Langway, and we'll see how this one ended up coming out. And there we go. He did indeed sign both cards, and well, that's weird. Okay, so the set card there for my Flair Throwback set turned out just fine. No smears, no creases, nothing like that. The 83-84 O-Pee-Chee card I sent, not sure if you can see it there, but there is a very large crease right across his forehead there. Signed both, but that's 2 out of 3 that have gotten creased like that. It's like, might want to be careful if you're going to mail to Rod Langway anytime soon. You may end up getting it folded up a little bit. Either way, though, hey, got that one knocked out, and I have a new record for my longest success of all time, I believe. We've got 3 more. One of them, I believe, is an eBay auction that I purchased. We're going to take a look at that. We've also got a very large padded envelope here from a trade that I've been working with a member of one of the Facebook groups. Yeah, and this is indeed the eBay auction that I thought it was. And pop that one open. It is the set card for my Diamond King stuff. That is John Smiley. Quick eBay grab right there. Nice to get that one back in. All right, go for that trade next. If I can get this thing open at least. There we go. Could be, yeah, some 1978 Topps cards in here. Perfect. And yeah, we're going to have a lot to get through right here with all the tape on this. Well packaged, I got to say. There, nice job on that one, Jason. Like I said, I've got 2 TTMs coming up as well here in a moment, besides the super lengthy one there from Mr. Rod Langway. But yeah, there we go. Finally got this out. And there we go. All right. So yeah, what I got was a bunch of 1978 Topps cards signed from Jason. He's looking for some very set cards in return. I know I've got a 78 that he needs. He's got some 83s and 72s, and he said, "Hey, take these. Just return whatever you think is a fair deal on them." It's like I can definitely do that. So show these off real quick. Former Cleveland Indians hitting coach and former Expos catcher on this card, Jose Morales. Got Leroy Stanton. Got John Scott. Trying to keep the glare off the windows on this as best I can. Clay Carroll, who you actually saw a TTM of a few weeks ago. There we go. On a couple of Reds cards from my 72 set. Got Tommy Helms. And Ralph Garr. Nice ballpoint pen signature there. So got those, and Jason, if you're watching this, I'll get your cards out to you here very soon as well. Thanks again for the trade. And finally, let's get on down to the TTMs. These both have the machine style stamp on them there, so not really sure who they're going to be, where they're coming from. Let's find out. My most recent mailouts were a little over a week ago, so it might be something from one of those that's starting to roll back in. And yeah, it actually is, as this is former Braves, Royals, and Padres infielder Keith Lockhart. Got a few right there. Another one of those MLB Showdown card signed. Gotta love the Upper Deck 40-man set as well. Those are always great. You can find all sorts of short-term major leaguers in there, all kinds of oddballs. Love the 40-man sets. And of course, 97 Fleer. 96 and 97 Fleer are just so great for signing. Got the matte surface on them. Bought a lot of that 96 Fleer when it first came out. And so here's the other one. Let's see what we've got on this one. Feels like there's some extras in there. A photo or a postcard or something of that sort. Very carefully go in there, and yeah, there we go. Ah, very nice. And this would be former Royals and Indians and Yankees and Cardinals pitcher Don Hood. 84 and a 79 Topps card. That 79 Topps card was actually one of the first kind of older cards I ever got. Being born in 84, I consider anything before that to be kind of an older card. I mean, I'm probably going to get hate mail for that, but got that one at a card show when I was about 6 or 7 years old, kind of the early 90s there. Picked it up for probably about a quarter or so, and been sitting there ever since, and figured, hey, might as well go ahead and get those signed. Hood also put into photos as well a blow-up of his 72 card, or excuse me, a blow-up of his 75 card, I should say. It says the photos from 74, which that would be correct. Showing him with the Orioles, and a 1976, just a regular photo of him winding up about to deliver with the Indians. So pretty nice there, getting those 2 extra bonus items in there as well. So good stuff there once again. And just a reminder, if you want to find out how to go about doing this too, go and check out sportscardforum.com, the TTM manager section, and all of the autograph forums on there.